Toledo. Welcome back to the fourth episode of Cruising Through the TOL with Shay. Today on my podcast, I have a very special guest of mine. I have Miss Dawn McNulty here from First American for home warranty. We are going to talk about the importance of home warranty. So I want you to tune in. If you have not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, be sure to do that. I'll make sure you get information how to click on over there and do that. But in the meantime, let's dive on in with our special guest, Dawn, today. Dawn, thank you so very much for being on my podcast. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
You were like, when I first got into real estate, like you were like one of the first ones that I met. As a matter of fact, you came out to the office, did a presentation, and I was like, I just really like her.
Aw, thank you.
You've just been so kind, like ever since. So I connected with you immediately, and I'm like, now what does she do again? And I'm like, okay, home warranty. Okay, tell me more about it. What's that? All that, because I'm new to it, right? But I will tell you what drew me to it was just meeting you for the first time.
Well,
thank you so much for that.
Feelings are mutual.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank
very
you.
Warm person, yeah.
I try to be. Well, tell us a little bit about you, personal, the business, how you got in it. Tell us all about it.
Okay, well, I could talk about that for half an hour.
Well, we got that.
So about me. I have 3 wonderful children.
Oh.
Currently, 3 wonderful grandchildren with 1 on the way. 3 girls so far, but a boy is due late September, October.
How exciting!
I know, so exciting.
He's gonna be so spoiled.
Yes, being a grandma is the best.
Yes.
And then I have my dog Baloney.
Okay.
So,
How the name Baloney?
Well, I bought him. He's 4 months old, so he already knew his name, and they had named him Simon.
Okay.
So I didn't want to change it.
Okay.
So I called him Simone Baloney. Baloney stock.
I love
That's
it.
how we got there.
Okay.
So when he's not being good, he's Simon.
Oh, and he
Simon.
probably knows it too.
And he does know it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So how I got into the business? Well, so I started in this business in 1989.
89?
Yes.
Oh my God. First of all, you probably were 5 years old.
Thank you. No,
Yeah.
I wasn't. I was 2.
There we go. 2.
That was in title. So I worked for Area Title.
Okay.
In 1989, Mike repassed.
Yeah.
And then I went on to work for Port Lawrence Title.
I remember Port
then
Lawrence.
under the leadership of Jack and Greta Lasky. I mean, these are throwbacks for all these old ones out there.
Yeah.
And then after that, I worked for Remax Preferred as well for a time. John and Kathy hired me there.
Oh.
And then I went back to title. And now I'm doing home warranty.
Wow.
Yeah. And the how I got into home warranty was I onboarded Eddie Campos.
Eddie, you are the man. I told you you're a celebrity.
Yeah. And he said, Esther Johnson is leaving First American Home Warranty. You'd be great at it. You got to apply. And I'm like, oh, no. And he literally twisted my arm and says, you have to apply. You're applying. And here I am.
There she is. Thank you, Eddie. That's Eddie's style.
Yeah.
That's how I became treasurer on the board and today president-elect.
Yep.
He's like, you got to do it.
Yep.
You can do it. And I'm like, okay.
Yep. So he just loves this industry as well. So,
He does.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
He is.
Aw.
So that's why I'm here. Thank you, Eddie.
Thank you, Eddie. That's why we're both in our positions. How awesome. So tell me a little bit about what you love about doing what you do.
I think what I do matters. I
Yeah.
think a lot of real estate agents like you feel the same way.
Yes.
We can make a difference in those big life moments, right?
Yes.
Purchasing a home is a big deal. And it's a great moment, but it has its challenges, and that's kind of where I come in.
Yes.
When those systems and appliance break down and it impacts your budget and
Yep.
the chaos of finding a technician and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's where I can come in and be a hero. It makes your transaction smoother, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's kind of why I love it. I love the community, the real estate community.
Yes.
I've been in this business since 1989. It's in my blood.
It's in
right?
it's in you. You're not going anywhere.
Right. So, yes.
That's so awesome. And I will say, just to piggyback off of what you were saying, it's just that rewarding feeling of helping someone.
Yes.
You know, I always say, no matter what we go through to get to the end of the transaction, to get to the closing table, right? Once we get there and everything's signed and my clients gets those keys, it just totally erased everything we went through.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the challenge we may have had with inspection or appraisal and all those hoops and hurdles.
Or system breakdown.
Yes.
Yeah. It goes from, oh no, to thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
Yep.
Yes. And then
that feels great.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great feeling. So I agree. It's one of those businesses or industries that you give and it constantly gives back to you.
It does.
Yeah.
It's rewarding.
It is. It really is. Mm-hmm. So, and I tell people all the time when they're getting into it, you know, I know we have a lot of reality shows out there about real estate. Mm-hmm. And I say, listen, you have to make sure that you enjoy being around people. Mm-hmm. You have to make sure that when there's a situation that may occur that may be challenging, it's all in how you manage their expectation.
Problems. Oh, that, I love that. It's all about managing expectations. It truly is.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It is. And I said, you know, if you're a problem solver and you can manage expectations well and you love people, this is the business for you. Oh, and you just so happen to get paid.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that just naturally, I don't know what it is about me, but I'm a problem solver.
Yeah.
And that, I love doing that.
Yeah, it's a good feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. So how long have you been selling home warranty?
Actually, my 12-year anniversary was yesterday.
I saw that. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did it go by quick?
It has gone by quick. It does not seem like 12 years. And it's like, wow, 12 years can go by just like that.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. You know, when you're younger and your grandparents or your parents would say, time just flies by, and you think,
oh, it's taking forever.
Yeah, it does. The older you get, that's true.
Right. That's so awesome. Well, happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you.
That's
I'm
so
proud
exciting.
to be in this business and for this company for this long. They've really
treated
me very well.
That's a beautiful thing.
It is.
Yeah, and you can still be happy about it and enjoy going to work.
Yep.
I remember when I was working in corporate America before I got into real estate, I had gotten to that point where I just didn't want to go to work. The pay was good, but I didn't have that reward like I have with this.
Yeah.
This, I'll get up out of the bed at 5 a.m. for my clients. I'll stay up till midnight for my clients. You know, it was just.
And you don't mind it.
You don't mind it.
Yeah.
And when I worked in corporate America, it was a hard stop at 5 people. You had to ask me a question. You better ask at 4:55.
Taking this home.
This is not going to right.
I live with this though.
Right.
And it's okay.
And it's okay. That's why I went my iPad, because I might have to write a contract.
Right.
But it is. It just makes a big difference of where you are. And I think you're with an amazing company.
I am. I'm very fortunate.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's so awesome. So why is home warranty important?
So it's so important because it really reduces the risk in a transaction. It lets those transactions run a little bit smoother. It protects the reputation of the real estate agent as well, I think.
Yeah.
And they're not calling you off the hook, right?
Yeah.
If something breaks down. And if something breaks down and they don't have like a home warranty to fall back on, who are they calling?
Yeah.
And at midnight even, right?
Yep.
Even though we love answering our phones.
We
and
do.
all that, we'd rather not get those calls, right?
That's so true.
Yeah. So, and it's a budget protection. It allows sellers to offer peace of mind, buyers to purchase with some confidence, right? And, you know, having that in place and being able to fall back on that when the unexpected happens, we're a predictable solution. Yeah.
Very much so. No, and I agree. And to just give a testimony, I was just sharing with Dawn the other day that our furnace, which is new, right? It was a newer furnace when we bought the house. It was probably about 3 years old.
Right.
Great condition.
Never expected that.
Never expected it. We've been in our house for about 3 years now. And just 2 days before Thanksgiving, where's the heat? It's cold. What is going on? And mind you, I was hosting Thanksgiving.
Of course.
So I'm like, oh my gosh.
I hear this story all the time.
So what did I do? I called First American Home Warranty because I am definitely a subscriber. I have had it ever since we purchased our home, and I love it. So I called them. They set up a service gentleman to come out the next day. I, paid my my service fee, and they came out and assessed the problem. It did need a new part, but that gentleman was able to fix it temporarily so that we could have heat for Thanksgiving until that part came in.
Yes.
So he said Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And the other blessing in that all is I only had to pay a small fee. That was so amazing. If I would not have had home warranty, the part alone, I think he said, was close to $400.
Wow.
And then the labor, of course, on top of that. So together, it was probably about a $600 job. Yeah. And I will tell you, it was the most stress-free phone call I had to make because I had all the confidence that it was going to get taken care of because it's not my first time using my, home warranty. And I was not like panicking or, oh my God, what if this is wrong? What if that's wrong? It just worked out perfect because I knew I was covered.
I'm looking for a stat here. Okay, here it is.
Okay.
Just locally, we've paid out $3.3 million in claims locally in the last 12 months, and we've served over 7,600 homeowners.
Oh my gosh.
So, for those who say home warranties aren't worth the paper they're written on, it's not always true. Not with us anyway.
Right, exactly. That part, exactly.
Right.
That's amazing. Those are some pretty big numbers.
Yes.
That's impressive.
Yeah. And we don't have an age restriction. So regardless of how old the systems or appliances are, if we can't repair it, we will replace it. And that's very important to know.
That's good to know.
There are age restrictions with some home warranty companies. We're not one of them. So keep that in mind.
I'm with the best.
When you're considering a home warranty company.
That's good to know. I did not know that.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. And so some people will shop based upon just price, right? And I always, my grandmother would always say, you get what you pay for, dear.
Right.
But even while they're doing that and they're being led with that, I still recommend that they read the coverage.
Yes.
Because it's so important. I know when I was comparing mine against other ones who were trying to approach me, I'm like, sorry, First American's got it. You don't cover that. That's an addition, and I'm not paying an additional fee for that. No, thank you.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm always here. So if you ever have clients who have questions about coverage and stuff, it can get real technical, and I don't expect agents to know the coverage inside and out. Send them my way. I'm happy to answer any questions they have.
I love that. I love that. And it's true because for my buyers, I definitely send them Dawn's way. And I tell them all the time, you need to get coverage.
Yeah. When it comes to claims and coverage, you're not alone.
Yes.
I'm here for you.
I love that. When is a good time for a home owner to purchase a home warranty?
Before something breaks.
You hear that?
Yeah, so we are not retroactive. So all systems must be in good, safe working condition, whether you're a new buyer or an existing homeowner. All systems must be in good, safe working condition at the start of coverage. Otherwise, it's pre-existing. Sort of like I always compare it to car insurance. You can't get into a car accident, then get car insurance, and then expect them to repair your vehicle. It doesn't work that way. We're kind of the same way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it, let me ask you this for someone who just purchased a home, is there a window?
Great question. It wasn't even on our thing. Yes, 60 days. So a buyer has 60 days from the date of close to add coverage, to change coverage, or to add additional options. But if they miss that window, we do have a consumer direct for people like you and I who have home warranties. So anyone can have a home warranty. The pricing will just vary. But if you call me because you are a friend of Sholanda's, I can put you on our friends and family plan.
I love that. You heard that.
Yes.
No, that's so good
Yeah.
because I always tell my clients, I say, look, you got about 60 days, you
Mhm.
know. I know once you get moved in and the dust settles, you still have a
Yeah.
little wiggle room in
Yeah.
there to call Dawn and
They
get
do.
it set up.
Yeah. So they
So-
don't need to panic. Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Mhm.
They're like, I missed the mark.
Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit about what First American Home Warranty offers, packages, anything unique, stuff like that.
So we cover all different types of residential properties. Nothing commercial, all residential. So
Okay.
condos, townhomes, mobile homes, foreclosures, historical homes, single family homes, of course, multi-units. We cover all of those.
Okay.
And then as far as coverage goes, we have like our basic plan, which again, I'll refer to like car insurance. It's kind of like our statement. And
Okay.
then we have more comprehensive coverage with upgrades that pick up a lot of the non-covered costs. So it just really depends on what coverage they need. And when homeowners call me, I kind of walk them through it. What concerns do you have? Right out of the gate, I always ask, what are your concerns?
Yeah.
If they say to me, furnace, AC or water heater,
Okay.
I'm going to start talking them into the first class upgrading codes, mods, and more because they're going to save a lot of money that way.
Okay.
With the upgrades, we're going to pick up more of those non-covered out-of-pocket costs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, I just kind of talk them through that.
What about plumbing? What about electrical?
So we cover plumbing, electrical, appliances, HVAC systems, and kitchen appliances.
Okay.
I want to mention this. We cover multi-units. So if you have more than one furnace or AC or water heater, we're covering all of them. If you have
Wow.
a dishwasher upstairs in the kitchen and one in that beautiful finished basement with the bar
Yes.
and the wine cooler.
Oh, yes.
Yes. We'll cover multi-units of anything except for kitchen refrigerator.
Okay.
We're only going to cover one kitchen refrigerator, and that's the one located in the kitchen.
Okay.
But we do have an additional refrigeration, which will pick up an additional 4 refrigeration units. So multi-units for everything, but kitchen refridge. Keep that in
Okay.
mind. Mhm.
Do you? And I'm just asking because I get these questions all the time. Like,
Mhm.
is it pool?
Yep, we cover pool and spa,
Okay.
whether they're shared or not. We
Okay.
cover them. In saltwater cells, we also cover as well. So pool, spa, we have optional things like well, septic, water softener, stuff like that, HVAC, tune-ups,
Okay.
pest, stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
There's a lot
is
of
roof?
We have a limited. Okay.
Yeah. Let's
This is-
talk on that
let's
because
talk
some
for-
people may
let's be
think.
real. We do have limited roof leak coverage, and
Okay.
that's exactly what it is. Limited. Okay.
Limited.
So it does have it's a $100 option with
Okay.
a $1,000 cap.
Okay.
We're only gonna patch
Okay.
a leaking area over the main living quarters of the home.
Okay.
Any leaks around chimneys or roof mounted things like skylights, anything around there, not covered. So
Okay.
it is limited. We're
Okay.
gonna patch an area over the main living quarters and that's it. And it
Okay.
has to be normal wear and tear, not damage.
Not like a natural disaster type of.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
That would be homeowners insurance.
I was gonna say, would that fall under homeowners
Yeah.
insurance?
So another one, sump pump. We cover
Mm.
sump pumps. So we're not going to cover any of the structural or personal property damage. That'll
Okay.
be your homeowner's insurance, but we
Okay.
will repair or replace that sump pump.
Oh,
So
nice.
we don't cover anything structural.
Okay.
We're a service contract for systems and appliances.
Okay. Okay. No, but that's when you think about everything that you do cover.
Mhm.
You know, those items, like the roof, you can get an extended warranty from your roofer,
Mhm.
right? They'll extend it out to 10 years or something like that.
Right.
You know, you have coverage that way. And then other things that may take up a lot of expense, you can get warranties in other kind of avenues. But you
Right.
cover a lot of the house.
We do.
Like it feels like you cover like 90%
We
of
do.
the house.
Yep. We do.
Which
yeah,
is pretty
we
amazing.
have a plumbing plus option now that covers the outside.
Really?
Plumbing, yep, water, sewer, and gas lines if there's a leak or break in those. We do have a cap of $1,000.
Okay.
I actually had to use that myself last year.
What?
I had a break in a plumbing line just for the washing machine.
Oh,
Had to reroute that all the way from the backyard all the way along the side,
Oh.
front, bore under my driveway, come up and connect it into the sewer or whatever up front. $14,000.
oh my goodness.
But First American gave me $1,000. So I think, I'm just going to say this, I am an advocate for those very affordable like coverages you can get for your utility company or whatever
yes.
for outside, because wow, that's a huge expense if something like that goes wrong. So I mean, consider that, people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think because I saw one, I received one. It might have been for the gas line. I can't remember, but I think it was something very, very small, like $5 a month, and
Yeah.
they included in your
Yeah.
monthly bill.
And then then the following year it'd be 12 or something.
Yes.
But I mean, I paid $14,000, and I wished I had done that. I'm like, I always thought that maybe this is a good idea. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I didn't do it. Just like, yeah, this maybe it's a good idea. You know, you got to do it.
Right? Just do it.
Right.
No, it's so important because
Yeah.
here's the thing, we cannot predict.
Nope.
We cannot predict when something's going to break.
Exactly.
We have no clue. When I walked in my house with the groceries to prepare for Thanksgiving, and I'm like, why is it cold in here?
Yep.
What is happening?
Yeah.
It was just a one phone call, and we had a beautiful Thanksgiving. And then even after that, they came back out and, put the new part on. And yeah, it's been going ever
Something
since.
I always post around Thanksgiving is throw a picca in the oven. Make sure it's working before you try to cook that turkey.
That is so true.
It is. Oh, those are the worst calls. Yeah, I'm trying to make a turkey and my oven doesn't work. Can we get someone who... No. Sorry.
Right. It's Thanksgiving. They're having dinner
Always
like you are.
test your oven before Thanksgiving.
Exactly. No, that's so good. Let me ask you this, and this is for me personally. So we have what is one of those old school built-in ovens.
Mm-hmm.
So if that goes out and I call and it's non-repairable, is that replaceable?
Yeah. If we can't repair it, we will replace it. Now, we're going to match like features.
Okay.
We can never guarantee color or brand or size, right?
Okay.
But, and this is a great question because it leads to something else. Homeowners always have the option to cash out in lieu of replacement or repair. So you could, in that situation, say, you know what? Just give me the money. You would pay me for the replacement and the labor to install it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to look around to match, or maybe I decide I want to go all stainless eventually or something like that. So you can then purchase whatever you want.
Okay.
And use our monies to do that. And then all you do is send us a receipt.
Okay.
Say, this was taken care of, and then we'll continue to cover it in the future. So you can always. Now, I always recommend if you're going to accept one of our replacement offers, because we'll send you some. Like,
yes.
Here are your replacement choices.
Yes.
Pick one. If you don't like any of them, cash out. If you do, please be sure to check the size.
Okay. Yes.
To make sure it's going to fit. Because we don't cover the cost of any structural stuff. So
yes.
if you have to move cupboards around or whatever to make stuff fit, we're not responsible for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's good because here's the funny story. Like, it's the oldest thing in our house. I kid you not. But when I tell you that
it's going to last forever.
It does. That old Kenmore is still kicking. But my husband and I were like, it's going to go one day. Like, it looks like it's like 30 years old, right? But it's still kicking. And I'm like, well, that's okay. We got home warranty, So
I have a washing machine like that.
Do you?
And I've replaced the dryer twice.
And the washer's still going.
Yeah, so they replaced my dishwasher. But first when they came out, they said it was the control board.
Okay.
Like where all the buttons are. And they were going to replace that part. It was a $400 part.
Yes.
And I said, well, for $400, shouldn't I just get a new one? And the guy said, well, this one is going to last you forever. A new one, maybe 7 years.
Oh, see?
That's what the appliance tech said. Maybe 7 years on a new one. Mm-hmm. But the old ones last forever.
They last forever.
Build them like they used to.
They don't. I mean, like, when we open it's heavy. The door's heavy. Like, you know how light they are now?
Yeah.
No, ours is like, it's like made of steel. Like,
yeah.
But it makes the best dinners.
Yeah. So I ended up having that only came in black. Okay. So that part only came in black and my dishwasher was white. So they're like, oh, we're going to have to give her a new one. So they gave me a new one and I hate it. The old one was so much better. This one I walked by and it's like beep. I'm like, no.
Don't turn on.
Yeah.
No.
So sensitive. No. So, yeah.
Wow. Well, that's good to know because I got a feeling I'll be making that phone call soon.
We have no age restriction. So if it fails, we're replacing it somehow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. It is so important to have home warranty.
It is.
Because there's things that could go wrong that, like I said, they're unpredictable and they're expensive.
Yeah. I just had my garage door opener replaced.
Yeah.
And I love it. Every time I go out to my garage and I hit the button, it goes whoosh.
It's all silent.
It's really quiet. It used to go.
Sorry. No, it's fine.
So it's like neat. I love it.
I love it. Yeah, it's so important to have home warranty coverage.
Yep.
So
Thank you. I agree.
Well, I thank you so much for coming on my show. I really appreciate it.
Being here.
And like I
This has been
said,
fun.
yeah, I'm like, nobody can tell it like Dawn. Like, she's been doing this for 12 years, people. She knows what she's talking about.
I do. Inside and out, in my sleep, I got it.
That's right. That's when you know it's in your heart, right?
Absolutely. Thank
Well,
you.
tell us, as we get ready to close out, how people can get a hold of you.
Okay. So you can call me. My number is 419-494-2054.
Nice.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep, give me a call.
Just a simple phone call. That's it. And I'll make sure that you have her
You
phone
can text
number.
me too.
Yep. You can take right? Exactly. I'll make sure everything is linked to this podcast.
Perfect.
And I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Dawn.
Thank you.
And again, congratulations on your 12-year anniversary.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Well, that's it for today, Toledo. I appreciate you for joining us on our 4th episode of Cruising Through the TOL with Shay. We'll see you soon. Bye.